Morning, friends. I hope you guys all had just a really wonderful Thanksgiving. We sure did.
We did. It was busy,
Yep.
but it was fun, and we had a lot of family over to spend time with us, which was awesome.
Yep. Today we have a ton of leftovers, though, that we need to take care of. And I thought we'd just chat with you while we're managing that and tell you what's been up. It's been about a week since we've talked
almost
to
a
folks.
whole week since we
Sorry
put out
about
a
that.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Things have been a little crazy around here with Thanksgiving.
And we said we were going to film that, and then I got sick. Okay, well, I have a whole bunch of leftover cranberry relish, and I always make a ton when I need to make it for Thanksgiving, and then I can the rest, and I don't have to make it again for like 3 more Thanksgivings. So I'm going to can this right now. I just heated it up because it's been in the fridge, so it doesn't get too shocked when it goes into the water bath canner. And I'm gonna water bath can it for 15 minutes. But yeah, what happened? So, I started thinking about the whole story, and last Saturday I was out hunting, and I remember like my shoulder blade just feeling like a pinch and like just soreness, and I thought it was just I was sitting with bad posture, and I just couldn't get the uncomfortable feeling to get out of my shoulder blade. And then Monday night when I got home from work, I grabbed my arm. I was like, ow, and it just felt like something bit me really bad. Remember
I remember.
I reached up in my sleeve and I could feel bumps there. I was like, what the heck? And I pulled up my sleeve, and it's like on the back of my arm, and I asked Todd, because I couldn't see it, I asked Todd to look. He's like, yeah, you've got like 3 bumps in a line right there. And my arm was just so sore. And so I went to work Tuesday. My arm was still really, really sore. By mid-afternoon, my back was just killing me, like shooting pains, like ow, and just I don't know how to describe it. And at one point in time reached my hand down the center of my back, and it was just bumps everywhere. I was just like, okay, I don't know what that is. I mean, you think it kind of felt like back acne, I guess, and I've never had back acne. I was like, okay. So I got home and showed it to Todd. He was like, ew, yeah.
Yeah, because the first night when she showed it to me, it was just like 3 tiny, tiny little bumps, like 3 little pimples right in a row. And on day 2, when she showed it to me, they were big, round, circular red spots. They weren't bumped up anymore, really, but there were still 3 of them right in a line, and they were 4 times the size as what they were the day before.
And my back is when you looked at that too, Tuesday night.
Yeah, and that was the same. It was like little bumps in the center. Oops, that almost made a big mess. The little bumps in the center with like a red circle around it.
Right. So I started feeling like this feels like and sounds like potentially shingles. I had a girlfriend just go through it not long ago, and she talked about kind of like the rash, and my father-in-law's dealt with it, so I knew what it kind of, the pain and like the nerve feelings. And so I stayed home from work on Wednesday and went to the quick care in the morning, and yes, it was shingles.
You didn't even have to do a test or anything.
Yeah.
You just looked at it and was like, yep, that's shingles.
So we were hosting Thanksgiving, and thankfully when I started feeling bad Monday and Tuesday, I got a lot done Tuesday. Wednesday, I was like, I don't know how this cycle goes, if it's going to get worse. And got almost everything done Wednesday, meal prep wise, except the turkey and the rolls. That was all that had to be done.
Because I stayed home from work on Wednesday too and helped.
Yeah. So I think honestly I got off scot easy. Oh, why don't you tell them what you're doing?
So another leftover item from our Thanksgiving dinner was all this mashed potatoes. It seems like I'm apparently not the only one that cooks it in very large batches
Yeah,
sometimes.
I did not think it was going to be that much.
I was peeling them all on Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, this is a lot of mashed potatoes. But we don't want them to go to waste. They're perfectly good. They were just real mashed potatoes from our potatoes that we grew in our garden. We don't want them to go to waste. So I'm putting them in little quart bags, and then we're going to toss them down in the freezer. And someday when we have a little meal and we want some potatoes,
Yeah.
we can set it out the night before in the fridge, and it'll be thawed out and ready to go.
But ended up being that Thursday was my worst day. It was a very uncomfortable. I felt really just, I guess, no energy. I feel like that all the time still today. I can not do much and it just wears me out. But I did end up getting my Christmas tree put up yesterday and Thanksgiving stuff put away thanks to Dan's help. She helped a lot put the ornaments up, and Todd helped getting everything down out of the attic. So today's just really the final wrap up of Thanksgiving, getting this food preserved. We've got a big roaster going with the turkey stock, and we'll can that and get this cranberry relish canned, and we'll be set for cleanup. Tonight we are having Cam and Claire coming over, and we're going to tell them about the green beans that you made.
Oh yeah, that one video, I don't
Freezer
remember
tour.
which one it was. Freezer tour video.
Yeah.
I talked about our jowl bacon. And Rachel really wanted
Not green bean casserole.
not green bean casserole for Thanksgiving, even though it's one of my favorites. I'm like, sure, fine, whatever. And so she had a bunch of frozen green beans in the freezer downstairs that we were going to toss in the Instant Pot. And it's really good when you add things like bacon, but we thought, why not use a little chunk of our jowl bacon? So I thawed out a piece of it, and I cut off a little slab about like this, diced it up into little cubes, about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. I used the saute option on the Instant Pot and like crisped it all up in the bottom of the pan first. Threw in some chicken stock and a whole bunch of green beans. Some
was
salt,
so
pepper, and a little bit of red pepper flakes. 7 minutes on high pressure manual. Let it manually just release steam on its own for about 10 minutes, and then you can vent it. They were awesome.
Oh my gosh, we loved them.
Awesome.
Yes. So one of my goals this year was really to keep food as pure as you can without, again, too much additional waste. Like, so green bean casserole, you've got to buy the cream of mushroom soup and all that kind of stuff. And just keeping it whole and serving it with some of our jowl bacon and some good seasonings allowed us to do that.
So we have a big chunk of our jowl bacon. It's pre-smoked. Our butcher smoked it for us like bacon. We have a big chunk of that left in the fridge. So tonight Rachel has some bread going in the bread maker. We're gonna make it into like little individual sub buns, kind of like is what
Yeah.
I was picturing.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna bake that up, and then we're going to make turkey sandwiches, basically like turkey paninis.
Yes.
So we're gonna use some of our leftover turkey. I'm gonna slice off a chunk of that jowl bacon. We're gonna pan fry that and see if it crisps up.
Yeah, it should.
Lay that on top of our turkey.
Some cheese.
Cheese, maybe a little mayonnaise.
Yes.
Should be good.
So that's another great way to handle our leftovers. I've already got probably half a gallon bag of turkey frozen in the freezer from when I finished taking the meat off the carcass before I made the broth. And then this will be able to wrap up the rest of the turkey getting used for a fun dinner. And
That
then,
one doesn't have a lid.
oh, can't can it like that.
It might not turn out good.
No. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to get this cranberry relish in the canner, and then we are going to head on over and start managing all that chicken or turkey broth that we've got had going. We've had that cooking since Thanksgiving evening. But stay tuned because we're going to tell you guys what Dan thought about her first Thanksgiving. Okay, that is, woo, can you see that goodness? That is it. There's quite a bit of fat on this turkey stock. I unfortunately made a bad decision and left the skin in there. So it's going to take a minute to clean all this out. But I should get quite a good amount of quarts and pints of stock out of this. All this goodness will just go to the chickens and they will have their Thanksgiving feast. So I'm just using a cheesecloth to strain the bits that are in the chicken broth out.
The bits. It's
Yeah, lovely.
pretty dark. 36 hours
Yeah.
or so it's been cooking in the roasting pan. All the bones were just falling apart in there. So Dan's Thanksgiving, it was her very first time. I guess if you're not familiar with Dan, because some people are new to our channel, Dan is our foreign exchange student who's been staying with us for the last 3 months.
Yeah, since August.
She's from Vietnam. Her family obviously never celebrated Thanksgiving before, being that it's traditionally a U.S. holiday. Although some other countries do have their own version of it, like Canada and some few other places. But we kept telling her all week about how much food we're going to make and some of the American traditions behind Thanksgiving of overeating,
Tryptophan.
tryptophan in the turkey.
Nhìn giống như con gà luộc phiên bản khổng lồ.
Bing bang khomlo. Is that what you said?
I said giant version of chicken. So
Oh. Hours of couch time afterwards watching football along with naps. And we made our food and she ate fast.
Yes,
She ate
loved
really
it.
fast. She loved everything that we made. She went back, she got another plate full.
And then
And I think she ate the other plate full. About the same time the adults, we were just finishing up. I remember looking across the kitchen at her and she was sitting here at the snack bar. And she had this look on her face like very glazed over, just like Dan, are you okay? She's like, I feel really tired. I don't know what's wrong with me.
yes. But it wasn't necessarily the tryptophan. She just wasn't used to eating that much food in one sitting. But everything was so yummy to her. She was really excited to try everything. And some of her favorites, let's talk about her. What was her favorites? She loved deviled eggs. She absolutely loved the pineapple cottage cheese salad that is a family tradition in my family. She loved the sweet potato casserole.
Oh, yeah, for
That
sure.
was definitely a favorite.
She was just talking about it all today when I was taking her to the mall to
Oh,
drop her
really?
off with her friends. Especially the deviled eggs. She's
The
like,
deviled eggs, yes.
She's asking me, how do you spell it?
Yeah, she was very interested in just all of it, really. I don't think there was anything she didn't like. She tried the pumpkin pie and liked that. And then she has been, afterwards though, she said what we just did for Thanksgiving was basically what they do every single Sunday. In the sense that the family all gets together and they go to her grandmother's house and they make a huge meal and everyone sits around eating and taking turns cooking and visiting with one another for about 5 hours or so. And she said that is a very normal Sunday for them, which was nice to hear because we probably as Americans don't get together with our extended family as much as other cultures do. We're
Yeah, she
trying.
was even saying that like every week when they get together, a different family, I'm assuming her parents, brothers and sisters, a different family cooks each week. So it's
Mm-hmm. Right.
not like grandmother cooking this big meal every week for all these family members that show up. They spread the wealth, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we sat around and we played Scrabble in the evening with all the kids that were here, and that was really fun. Scrabble's a really fun but hard game for Americans to play, let alone somebody that's learning English as their second language. So it's funny though, she's caught me on misspelling words before.
She has.
She's like, Mama, don't you mean it like this? I was like, oh yeah, you're right. But all in all, we had a great Thanksgiving, huh?
You did.
Everything for the most part was from our farm. Other than things like I made the homemade rolls, and of course we don't grow that, and we don't grow our own fruits and nuts yet for like things like the cranberry relish, but our family, it was precious time to spend with them. We did miss Abigail and being away for the first time this Thanksgiving. Okay, so I just got all of the chicken broth that I can fit in one canner load. I still probably have another canner load to go, but that's the wrap up of preserving our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was a great Thanksgiving. I know it's been like a week or so since we put out videos, and even on Thanksgiving Day, the footage that you saw here today with us was all filmed by Dan. She was
Yeah.
going to do a whole, her whole own separate video on Thanksgiving, but then she decided not to. So we didn't even get out the camera. We
No.
just spent time with family. We've been relaxing.
Yep, I've been recovering. So as soon as we feel 100% up to it and caught up, we'll be getting videos out more regularly for you guys. So thanks, and we really hope that you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving and are rushing in Christmas. It'll be here before we know it.
It will.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.